when we listen to the radio, TV, social media, you can know that men are hurting. They are supposed to be head leaders. They are God-appointed leaders. But they are declining. 99% of crime and violence are attributed to men. Research suggests that by the age of 7, boys will most likely become violent if we tolerate media violence in our homes or fail to monitor bullying or violence and violent video games. Future violence and criminality and other bad traits in boys can often be predicted early and stopped. So if a boy is showing signs of bullying and cruelty to his friends, to his sisters, to animals, or extreme anger, it is very wise for parents. We need to take time to discipline our boys early and to follow through to save lots of time on future prison visits. I want to talk about the role of the father, but before I talk about the role of the father, let's read Colossians 3:21, verse 21. Colossians 3, verse 21. It says, "Fathers, do not provoke your children, lest they become discouraged." Fathers, do not provoke your children, lest they become discouraged. This verse advises parents, especially fathers, not to treat their children in a way that causes them to become bitter, angry, or discouraged, but instead to encourage them. It emphasizes the importance of nurturing a positive relationship with children by avoiding excessive harshness. Sometimes fathers are harsh to their boys, but the verse emphasizes encouragement to avoid excessive harshness, constant criticism, which can break their spirit and lead to rebellion. So every boy needs a male in his life to help him download the software of how to be a man. Every boy. Let me repeat it. Every boy needs a male in his life to help him download the software of how to be a man. This is the greatest privilege given to fathers and the greatest gift from God that a father gives to his son. Remember, men are God-given leaders. It is very important for the father and son to bond, because it is the father who connects the boy to the wider world of men. Without the father, the boys are lost. It's them who connect them to the wider world of men, to its risks and thrills. It's the father who creates safety and reassurance when life feels sorry. A father's guidance, instructions, and encouragement and love are a boy's connection to the world of men. When a father is absent and always angry, boys are badly disadvantaged. Well-fathered boys show the positive effect years later. Boys whose fathers are involved with them from a young age do better in everything because they get time to teach them a lot of things. Academically, they thrive. Emotionally and socially, they have the skills to cope. And their career success is influenced positively. Every father is a hero and has to be a hero to his son. Not others, not Bobby Wine, not soccer stars, but it's the father to be the hero to his son first. You have to fight to be a hero to your boys, and for the right to be a father to your boys, because the world do not want you to be a father. They can hold you back in the office late, and you come home late. You pay for other people to train your children, yet it's your job to be with your sons. You have to teach them how to wash clothes, to bathe, to kick the balls, and everything, and so many things. Because in doing so, you are bonding with your boys, which will help you later in life. The interaction and training and all the trainings boys get from their father is linked to later capabilities in the boy's life. The father helps the boy to manage frustrations, to explore circumstances, and persevere in academics and be able to solve problems. Boys learn about love by watching their father. They love it when you show warmth to their mother. In African society, we are not so romantic in the open, but at least you can give her a compliment, a hug. You can give their mother a gift. Take her out. Greet her in a special way. All these help your boy to learn how to love through you. It's the father who teaches boys to respect women. At around the age of 14 and above, boys start to intimidate, if you've ever noticed. They start to intimidate their mothers, to disobey, to speak a little disrespectfully to their mothers. But when the father is in the house, they have to feel the father's power and presence. Fathers, you have to look out for this time, because like 80% of boys do this. Fathers have to look out for this moment. If you don't rectify it or put it right, the boys will never respect women, not only their mother, but others. So when you hear them teasing, disobeying their mother, you have to come out and talk to them that I don't want to talk to your mother in that tone of voice. I searched for this woman in the whole world. She's your mother. So they have to feel that this is an important person to their father and to them. Fathers, they teach their sons responsibility and work ethics. As fathers work with their sons, with their boys at home or on the farm, you are teaching them honesty, reliability, professionalism. Remember, housework, farm work, name it, it's the foundation excellence for future work, office work. The boys, you are training your boys how to work. They are learning how to work. So you teach them accountability, discipline, time management, quality work, positive attitude, and many values. Together, as you are working with your boys, these components form the foundation of a strong work ethics, which shapes the professional behavior and contributes to productivity later in life. So fathers, involve your boys, take them with you when you are going to the market, to the hardware, to buy building materials, to the butcher. Give them tasks as you work together in the garden, on the farm, compounds, or your workshop. Be with your boys. They need you. The father's conversations and answers to the boys are all part of downloading the software of how to be a man. So it's very important to give them quality time, to answer their questions, to be with them. Parents must make sure that they avoid sarcasm and put-downs, which lower our boys' self-esteem. It is the empowering language, the you can do it language. You've got what it takes to do it, which develop a great man. If fathers determine to do the right thing, they can turn parenting around in this generation. Boys need an affective father, a backbone father to lean on, loving and firm, but fair and friendly. There is power in fathers mentoring our boys as they grow towards manhood. It's not only paying school fees, buying food, but mentoring boys, downloading the software for making this boy a man is very important. We need to address the bad behavior while supporting them. When behavioral issues arise in our boys, he needs to know that someone is there to show him how to get up. Sometimes they need immediate help to see a way forward. There are many boys who fall into the pit of drug, betting, homosexuality, alcohol, and many more. But they have no one to lift them out of that pit. Some have fathers, some have uncles, They have grandfathers, but no one to lift them up. Fathers, we often have to help our sons to get out of such pit. We have to bond with them, to know their movement and everything, so that they don't get lost. The unconditional and continuous love a father has for his son is vital for your son's development. So, fathers, you have to teach your son, you have to be there for your son, you have to teach him work ethics, to teach him responsibility. In this generation, parents, we are not doing our boys any favor by making life easy for them, by not expecting any contribution to the family, other than sitting in front of the TV or on social media or anything. His compliance in little things, including cleaning his room, putting clothes in order, washing his shoes, fulfilling his daily chore, such as maintaining the compound, feeding and looking after, maybe if you have some domestic animals or birds at home, or pets, that work make him a responsible man. And they bond him to the family and give him a sense of significance. So fathers, celebrate your boys' achievements, accomplishments, like investiture, sports days at school, and other things. Be there, fathers. Not only mothers, but fathers, we need you to be there for the boys. Get involved in something he's doing, like a sport, like sports or project. In whatever skills you do with your boys, develop it to perfection. Like mowing the compound, tending the flowers, and other things. Let the boy do it to perfection. Be it poultry or goat rearing, anything, help him to learn it to perfection. Fathers, you can have a family tradition, like the men in the house preparing Sunday breakfast, or repairing furniture with a professional carpenter each year. These activities and many more help our boys in the workplace, in the future, in the workplace, to be creative. In brief, there are many other things, but in brief, since I have 1 hour, I want to talk about the role of the mother in raising our boys. Good mothering involves far more than simply giving birth or providing a child with physical care. It's far more than quality clothes. It's more than feeding. The mother is the boy's sexual base, the touchstone, allowing him to explore his world with confidence. If you want a special place in your boy's heart, it is established in the first 3 years of life. Mothers, if you want to dedicate any wind of life, any hope of life to your son, to your son's welfare, the first 2 to 3 years of life is a priority. It is very, very important. It is during these first years, the pre-verbal years, when your child cannot talk because the speech takes long to develop. It is during the precognitive years, when the mental processes are not yet established, developed, that his ability to trust, to feel good about himself, and to grow a good brain are laid down. And as mothers, we have a privileged role in the process of laying down a good brain for our sons. Remember, 75% of a child's brain come from the mother. 75. The father contributes 25% of a child's brain. Your boy come into the world with very few resources to survive on his own. Children are born with free-floating neurons. Neurons, these are brain cells, which receives and sends messages to the body and back. So they are born with free-floating neurons in their brain, right from the womb. While still in their mother's womb, not many connections are made. There has to be connection. The neurons have to connect. So after being born, they make connection using their 5 senses. Teachers know this. Supported by parents and caregivers. And they have to be professional. They have to know this. As you engage the senses, the connections of the boy are made. Early childhood experiences from birth to 8 years are very, very important. They are very important. They significantly impact the brain's architecture. Call it a plan, which form the foundation for all future learning, behavior, and health. What is early child brain stimulation? It is engaging a new baby or a young child. You engage the brain in various activities that promote learning, development, and growth. As you deliver day one, you have to engage the brain to help it make connection, particularly during the critical period of rapid brain development in the first 3 years of life. What does it involve? It involves providing a rich and varied experiences that stimulate the brain through sensory input, movement, social interactions, and cognitive challenges, all within a supportive and loving environment. You can cut a picture, you can hang up a picture of Jesus in his room or near where you feed him from. And whenever you are going to feed, you can tell him that we are going to have a word of prayer. We are going to pray to Jesus and point at him. In so doing, you are making spiritual connections. You can cut colored shapes and put it on his crib when he's young. You can sing a shape song, or you can talk about the shapes, not in detail, just one sentence. In so doing, the mother is building the math connections to this young child. And other things. All we have to know, mothers, we have to help our baby boys form connections in their brain. Why is early brain stimulation very, very important? It is important because it lays, as I said, it lays the foundation for future learning. The 3 years are the prime time for brain development, with connections forming rapidly and being strengthened and pruned or moved based on experiences. Stimulation in these years, early years, help children develop essential skills. When they are still young, they develop essential skills like problem solving, communication, self-regulation, making it more difficult to build this connection later in life. You know, these skills are lacking in Uganda. Many people do not have problem-solving skills. The mother should start the boys early in life. The amount of stimulation an infant receives directly affects how many synapses. Synapses, these are string-like connections from neuron to neuron. Neurons are brain cells. So consistent stimulation strengthens these connections, while those that aren't used may be pruned away. If the spiritual connections are not put into place, they are removed, and you take trouble developing spirituality in your boy later in life. So a mother should be intentional when supporting her child all the time. And brain development, brain stimulation can be done all the time and everywhere, even when you are going for shopping, when you are going to the church, at home. So many times you can see these white people when they are shopping, they are talking to their young children. Whatever they are doing, they explain it to the children. A mother has to assess all areas whether they are developing and should always aim at developing the boys or their children and stimulating their children's brain to full potential. To full potential. If we do our work as mothers, our children will be critical thinkers, critical observers, will be able to analyze, to reason, to form judgment. Our boys will be able to solve problems. As parents, we should be very careful to know who is with our children in the first years of life. Because as the brain is setting, who is your children? Who is with your child? Or who is with your children? Because these are critical years in a child's life. That's why during the first years of life, it should be the mother to be with the child. You are the only safe wall between him and the world. Your care, your touching, your feeding, your talking, your singing will sequence his brain and calm his emotions. You know, baby boys are very active. So your feeding, your touching will sequence his brain and calm his emotions. Baby boy need one-to-one responsive care. They need someone who notices and understands all the signal and actions so that they don't get stressed. Whoever is with these boys, with the baby boy, you have to know all the signs and what they mean. If he wants to go to urinate and doesn't want to urinate in his pamper, he can twist like this. Or when he wants to eat, he can put his fingers over his mouth. If he wants to sleep, so he can rub his fist over his eyes. So there are many signals and actions and movement, but whoever is with the baby has to know all these signals and what they mean. It is the key part of early childhood development. It's not just feeding him and making him sleep, but you have to know the signal and actions and understand the movement and what they mean and what the baby is communicating to you. Mothers not only nurture the character of children, but they nurture the spiritual development. As you know, we have an epidemic of violence among men. As I've said in the beginning, among men and boys. And although we are right to set laws and ways for men and boys to control their aggression, we should also look deeper into how boys are nurtured in the early years of life. In the first years, rage, violence, depression, and lack of conscience. Some boys and men don't have any conscience, especially those who rob people on the roadside. Love of conscience can all be linked back to the early years, not when we see them doing it, but back in the early years. If a boy is loved and learns to love, in return, he loves his parents, his siblings, his friends, and later in life, his wife. To boys, later depression, sadness, self-control issues, and in severe cases, chaotic thinking, all can be linked to an unavailable mother or long periods away from a mother in the early months and years. So that's why mothers of baby boys should be given enough support from their husband, the relatives, the parents, our parents, and the church. They should be assured over and over again that raising a boy child is a divine calling, an important work for God, because it's God who decided to make men leaders. It's an important work to the government, because the government spent a lot of time rehabilitating men. Most of the people in prisons are men. This is a great work the mothers and the fathers are doing for the church, because church needs good members, disciplined members, to avoid disciplinary meetings. And even to the society, because the society needs good citizens, and to us women, because we need loving, responsible husband, and we need sons-in-law who are loving and responsible to our daughters. So it may mean posting some financial goals, career to raise boys. It means lowering our expectations as to what we can achieve for a little while. Our presence in raising boys, it is very important because we are their world in the early years. We teach them warmth, love, and the smile on our faces when they come back from school is very important. Men with good character, with good brains, had mothers who were loving but firm with their discipline, who were available and open to interruptions, to answer questions, give information, and explain the world to those boys. In the early years, we are the special source of information, source of knowledge, source of understanding. So it's very important to talk to our boys all the time, if you get time. Read Bible stories, character stories, nature stories, bedtime stories, as you are tucking him in bed. Reading exposes our boys or our children to many situations that are different from their everyday life. Through reading, children can develop connections. We should allow our boys to play because play helps boys to think critically and to build emotional intelligence. Let us expand our boys' awareness through nature walk, talking and noticing and observing things, collecting things and analyzing them, discussing situations. Show them how food is prepared, how we plant some of the things in the garden, and why we plant it that way. We should plan purchases together with our boys, involve the boys in planning, family events, and family holidays. Make sure boys get enough sleep and a balance of social and quiet time. Develop in them love and care by allowing them to look after animals and birds. Boys often need help in connecting with things. Help them organize their homework. Partition, as a mother, partition the tasks into doable work. Set realistic goals and help them to fulfill them. Make the tasks smaller. They get confused if the task is big, and sometimes they can disobey you. But make the tasks smaller so they can do it and don't feel overwhelmed and give up. Please, mothers, don't take over his house chore assignment, but make sure he completes it, completes his work, and have the joy of completing it. You are developing responsibility. Let's talk about the growing boys, the teenage. As a boy grows from helpless baby to a teenager, your parenting style has to adjust with him. In the early years of a boy's life, you are the mother, the older person, the boss, the teacher, and should provide constant supervision. When the boy starts school, still you are the mother, the older person, the teacher, So you should teach and monitor, you guide and set limits. As your boys grow and become teenagers, you are the consultant and friend. Before you used to enter their bedroom without knocking, now you have to knock before you enter. You gradually give more and more responsibility to a teenage boy and less supervision. I want to talk about the primary school years. Mothers need a lot of gentle steering and helping their boy. The primary years, we are the sole supervisors still of our boys. These are delicate years. You need to watch for all your boys' activity, for danger or for getting an imbalance. The primary years. Set a limit to their TV viewing or computer time so that they get out to play, to exercise, to socialize, and interact. We should know their friends personally and their parents, especially those of under 10, boys of under 10, because they can get into real trouble, these boys, if no one looks out for them. At home, we had, near us, there was a deep well. And in that well, there was a cobra, a very big cobra. And people used to run away from it. But primary boys used to go in this pond to swim. And thank God, they never drowned and they never got an accident. So primary school years, all boys under 10 years shouldn't be left alone in a house for long. They can set it on fire. Boys under 10 years shouldn't ride bikes on the road because they are not ready for traffic on road. Their sideway vision is not yet developed. They cannot judge the speeding car. They cannot see sideways. Let's go back to the teen boys. In adolescence, your son will look to you for maternal advice on how to live and how to relate. He may need your support at that time more than ever. So let us bond with our sons. We have to be on talking terms. Because a teenage boy lives in two worlds. At home with his family and with his friends. So mothers, let us make sure our homes are safe. They feel safe to be at home. Because sometimes it's where he can unload what's on his mind. Our home have to be a haven where he's free to withdraw with his thoughts or to communicate his struggles. Physiologically, so much is happening in a teenager's body. And at the same time, he's dealing with social media, sexuality, violence, all the immorality. At the beginning of the teenage age, a new stage is beginning. It is forming. And the boy is growing fast. A lot is happening on the inside. There is a hormone which makes them male. It's called testosterone, a male sex hormone that drives the development of male reproductive organ. So during the teenage age, it is high. Research says it is at 800%. The result is a sudden growth and elongation of his arm, legs. The growth is so much that the whole nervous system has to rewire itself. If you take an example of a computer, it's like they have installed the latest version of Windows. The reorganization of the brain, a teenager's brain, caused by the rapid growth, make him confused, sometimes bewildered and disorganized for many months. The father and mother have to act as a substitute brain for a while. By age 14, 15, testosterone level is now at the peak. And the changes occur. Pubic hair, acne, deep voice, body hair, muscle mass, as well as bone density, sperm production, and strong sexual desire. So mothers, mind the food you are giving to the boy. It shouldn't promote the sexual desire, but it should help him to develop properly. He feels restlessness, and everyone around the teenage boy becomes slightly crazy. In some boys, the testosterone levels are so high that they convert into estrogen, and there is breast swelling and tenderness. In one of the schools at our place, there was a teacher who started helping these boys. He told the staff members that I'm going to help these boys. But after, the staff found out that he was sodomizing them. So fathers, mothers, you have to see all the changes and help the boy child. Because sometimes people with bad intentions can damage our boys. Although every boy is different, it's common for boys at this age to get a little bit argumentative, restless, and moody. It's not that they are turning bad, just they are being born into a new self. And birth always involves a struggle. This is the time when we fail our boys most. It's at this age when the boys need understanding, an understanding mother and father. Unfortunately, this time comes when both parents are working. No time for their children, for their boys. Yet it's the time when our teenage boys are making life-affecting decisions. What can we do during this time? We should put good men in their path. The good youth leaders, the pathfinder teachers, the music teachers, their uncle. We have to involve them in church clubs, preaching clubs, and other good clubs. As we come to an end, I want to say that this generation of boys, like those before them, have every reason to grow into young men who give manhood a good name. Like any other generation of boys, their future lies to a significant degree in the hands of us parents. So we need to be armed with a vision for our boys, quality time, knowledge about the nature of boy. Above all, we need God's guidance when we are raising our boys. Thank you so much for listening to me. May God bless us as we raise God-fearing men for this generation. Thank you.
Okay, may we pray as we conclude? Dear God, we come again before you, thanking you for this session. We thank you for the things that we've studied, Father. You've made us parents, and you make other people parents. We pray that you may help us to be good parents, teaching our children in accordance with your will. Thank you for Mrs. Rebecca. We pray that you may bless her, and may you bless us. In your mighty name I've prayed.
Hello. Okay, so you're going to give us a few minutes, and then our brother, our council, has prepared a package for us that I believe all of you need this. So we can sing a song one as it comes up.